your online courses, your membership site, everything along those lines. If you're into teaching online and really sharing your knowledge and expertise. If you haven't already done so, make sure to like and subscribe. And of course, all the resources and links are in the description below. If there are any tools you want me to look at, let me know in a message and I'll make sure to do that. Now, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today is kind of an interesting one because as we started building out our agency, one of the things that we ran into is that especially when you have other people involved, you have to find a way to track time, more importantly, to manage tasks amongst all sorts of different people. And it can be difficult if you're just using email or if you're using a Slack channel or some kind of linear kind of process that doesn't allow for collaboration. And especially when you get involved with resources. So for example, where's this file? Where's these login details? What's the link to this? Where are the graphics for that? And it can get really, really confusing unless you're using something like a project management tool. And we have all sorts of project management tools that we've looked at. And during the research, we have one called Teamwork, which I'll show you briefly and why we use it is in another video. But I'm going to go through a couple of the traditional project managers. And then I want to share a different approach on one that we did take a close look at, and it was one of my open tabs. We didn't pull the trigger on this one, but it might be something for you because it's a completely different way of looking at managing your projects and how you're actually working with your clients. Now, what this is about. So let's say, for example, you get a training site from us or you want a course created. Just as an example, if you have a course created, you may have people who are writing the actual copy for the course, the research for the course, or maybe someone creating graphics. There may be video editors involved. There may be people doing email copy for the outbound emails that are going on. Maybe someone doing social media posts. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into creating a course or building a membership site or building an online learning campus. Tons of stuff going on, tons of people involved. So if you want to know where people are in that process, there's usually some kind of calendar of events, right? Stuff happens in a process. People have to wait until something is done in one place before they can do it in another one. So that's kind of the situation you find yourself in. And if you're building out a course, I'm sure you've run into this already. If you're building out a site, I'm sure you'll be familiar with this already. It's something that happens, and you just have to either kludge through it or use a tool like this. So the one that we've actually used, I'll open this one up so that you see it. We use one called Teamwork. And Teamwork is one that's got a couple neat things that are with it that make it especially helpful when you have multiple businesses and multiple websites. And it's got a built-in trouble ticket or help desk and support and knowledge base that can be shared amongst people. So that's one of the reasons we took a look at this one. This one's called Teamwork. Again, I put the links below. You can take a look at that one. They have Teamwork Spaces. They have Teamwork Chat. They have Teamwork, which is just the project management tool. And the project management tool, all of these are pretty simple or similar. For example, you'll see, let me just open up one that might be a good example here. Yeah, so you have a workload planner, the ability to look through and see what links or files are associated, tasks, standard operating procedures are all available there. There's another one that you may see a lot of called ClickUp, which again, pretty similar, all sorts of things that do the same. This one's a little more ad hoc so that you can customize it as one. There's another one called Smart Suite, which a lot of people have moved to from ClickUp, another one. And again, there's all sorts of there's NAT charts, Kanban boards. There's all different ways to manage all of the projects that you're on. Another one that we took a look at was called Monday. And again, Monday is one of those ones that has things like a dashboard, the dashboards, Kanban boards, docs, files, automations. Again, a lot of stuff. Now, the interesting thing for me is that when you get down to this, at the end of the day, when you're working on these, you're ending up with a calendar, right? You've got a situation where it's like, what do I have to do today? What's going to happen in the future on the calendar, and who's going to be doing which pieces? So it can get, it's a visual way to look at it. Now, sometimes you might see Kanban boards or tasks where, for example, all the to-dos might be in a column and all of the waiting might be in a column, all the completed might be in a column. The other one you see is a list where you end up with a list of things that need to be done. And what I found personally is that a lot of times, if something gets missed in a list or missed in a static Kanban board, for example, or overwhelming in those particular representations of it, it gets dropped and it gets missed from your calendar, it just kind of falls behind and it can easily get lost. So we did run into one, and if you are finding yourself, if you like working with calendars, this is one that I suggest you take a quick look at. Now, what's this one about? This one is called Use Motion, and it's usemotion.com. And the thing that's interesting with this is that this is an AI-powered calendar. And what do I mean by that? It works similar to a Kanban board in terms of columns, but the columns are, what do I need to do today? What's tomorrow? What's in the future? The cool thing out is it for you building out your courses, your membership sites, your training sites, is that when you're looking at this, you look and say, okay, I got all of these different things for my team. So you can see the team's calendar, but because it's an AI tool, what happens is that it actually moves the calendar items along with your calendar based on how much is done, who's doing it, who's waiting for what. So it's an intelligent schedule that's get built, but it's represented on your regular calendar. And this is completely different than if you look at it from looking at a Kanban board, for example, with columns organized by category of task, or if you look at it from a task list where it's all sorts of tasks and subtasks that are there. This just gives an easy way, I find, for being able to look at it. So go and make sure you sign up for it. It still has all of the different things like a regular project manager, a task manager, meeting assistants, but there is some really neat stuff in terms of how it gets built with your schedules. And the thing that, if you find you're falling behind, you might want to take a look at this one because it does manage moving your calendar forward and not getting stuff lost in the background. So that's the one I want you to take a look at. It's called Motion. The product's called Motion. It's at usemotion.com. There's a free trial for all of these to take a look at them. At the end of the day, if you're building out your course and you've got a site built out, or you're building a site, or you're managing a community, these are all things that you're going to have to do is manage a project. And whether you do it yourself, or more importantly, if you involve other people, which you probably will, you're going to need a way to track them. And that's why some of these tools are great for project management. So the one I had open in Open Tab was Use Motion today. Go take a look at it and stay tuned for tomorrow. And we'll take a look at some of my other Open Tabs, tools, services that we use to start, build, and grow education businesses. Take care. This is James Maduke speaking from trainingsites.io.